Time and dates of the probation violation sentence is represented by Attorney Dallas L. Rooney, people represented by Prosecuting Attorney Timothy J. Rukowski. The defendant was found in violation of probation, and that was by virtue of a plea. I believe that was last week. We adjourned sentencing. We were running out of time, unfortunately, last Monday. The court did not require a pre-sentence investigation or updated probation violation report, and the court understood that a verbal report would be provided by the department. Is that your understanding, Mr. Rooney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Rukowski?
Yes, Your Honor.
Recommendation of the probation department.
The recommendation is going to be 180 days jail, 8 days credit, discharge from probation. And I note that she did complete her community service hours and has her fines and costs capable.
All right. Mr. Rooney, anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client before the court imposes a sentence?
Yes, Your Honor. It's unfortunate that she got discharged from sobriety court due to some violations. However, I point out, but I sent quite a few documents.
Yes, you did.
To all the parties.
Right here. The court did review those, sir.
So she actually had no positive alcohol tests during the time she was on probation. She also had an interlock in her car, and she had no positives on her interlock either. She's in the process of trying to get her license back, and she has an appointment with counselor on Wednesday with that project forward. She is still attending counseling. I think I gave you a letter on counseling. She has lots of proofs of AA meetings. She's almost a leader in the AA community. We submitted many letters of support from people that know her, whether within AA or just people that know her in general. Note that the guidelines for her underlying case were 0 months to 6 months. And I saw in her prior case that the 180 or top end getting held in abeyance back when she got sentenced. However, based on the documents that we presented, I'm asking for the very low end of the guidelines, which are essentially no jail, and ask her to, as probation, keep her on probation since she's involved in all these services and still attending all of her counseling and AA meetings. A lot of people don't pay their fines and costs, and a lot of people don't get all their community service done, but she has all those things done, so I think she should get a little credit for that. She does have some heart issue going on that requires, are you still on the monitor?
It's inserted in my chest.
She's got a heart monitor that has to have a phone near it. So I'm not sure what the jail's policy would be to handle that. Aside with the jail. She worked me 2 different jobs, one full-time and one part-time, so we certainly could work at least if you decide to live in jail. So, like I said, it's unfortunate that she got discharged from sobriety court early, but she hasn't let that stop her to continue her endeavors to stay sober. It's been 17 months now that she's not drank. So I'd ask you to take all those things into consideration.
Thank you. Ms. Oxley, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes, sir. I have over 2,000 hours of community service that I am continuing. I volunteered for Dumb Kitties, Trap, Neuter, and Release. I take abandoned kittens in until they're old enough to adopt. I am still continuing the AA voluntarily as well as my counseling. I suffer from anxiety and depression, and I'm under doctor's care for that as well. I'm being treated for that. And I'm very sorry, and I'm taking accountability for being discharged early. It hurt me more inside than anybody else. I am accountable for my actions, and I'm living a life of sobriety. I found out who my friends are and my support system, which I have a very good support system. I just ask you to let me continue probation and go the way that I'm going, which is a good thing. I'm a completely different person than I was 17 months ago. Completely and totally. I kept the Intoxilon in my car. I still have that, even though I'm not using it. So, and I have been alcohol-free for 17 months. I thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Rakowski, anything on behalf of the people?
Your Honor, we just ask you consider probation's recommendation.
Well, if the court were not to give jail time as promised, basically that sentence would be just hollow. In other words, it'd ring hollow, because the jail time's held in abeyance for a reason. That is the complete program. That's the whole idea. We want people to be successful so that when that situation comes up again, you have the tools in your toolkit to make the right decision. Sadly, that didn't work out in this case. So, I mean, at the end of the day, there's really no justification or excuse regarding being dismissed from the program. However, I give you credit for the fact that you have submitted a lot of information to this court, including attendance at AA, the number of letters that have been submitted. The court considers those as well. And obviously they vote in your favor because it shows that you're taking the matter seriously. But again, as I said, if the court does not impose any jail time, when it's told that if you fail, you will, then the power of the court is lessened, and basically the consideration from the court is, well, they're just not going to do it. Sadly, the court has to do that, and you are unsuccessfully discharged from probation. You shall serve, rather than 180 days, I'll give 1 month off, 150 days of the county jail. Credit for 8 days previously served. There are no monetary obligations due. There's no other responsibilities other than serving the jail time. I have no objection to PA 511 programming work release so long as it reports to Lieutenant Newman and the Sheriff's Department policy. I wish you the best, Ms. Oxley, but it's my duty to inform you of the right to seek leave to appeal if you're financially unable to provide counsel of your own choice. The court will assign counsel for a public expense. Please initially receive a questionnaire form requesting the assignment of counsel, both of which must be executed under oath and filed with the court. This also makes the file a public file, which can be reported on, as the defendant is no longer on TRSC and that program. And in custody of the sheriff. That'll be all. Thank you.